Hey, what's up, pro wrestling fans? Welcome to Nation's Corner. I am Front Row. Joining me this week on a very special edition, all the way from Monrovia, by way of New York, Mongrovian Mike. What's up, Mike?
What's up, brother? How's it going?
It is going really, really well. This is cool. I'm really excited for this interview. On the show tonight, we're going to be interviewing Even Stevens, one of the most exciting, most fun tag teams out there. And I know you've had some run-ins and some experiences with them, so I'm really glad you're able to join us and help have some fun tonight. So, without further ado, why don't we bring in Steve Somerset and Steven Azure? They are Even Stevens.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, good evening, guys.
What's up, gentlemen?
How you doing?
We are doing great. So I really appreciate you guys jumping on with us tonight. I know you guys have crazy schedules. You're all over the place.
Hanging in back.
I see you on like all social media, everybody's podcasts, and it's really cool to see. I have a ton of questions about your wrestling history and careers, but I fell into a rabbit hole of the Steven updates this week.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many you've done, but I feel like I watched 200 of them. And I need more. So I just wanted to sort of ask you guys, like, what was how did this get started, and like how did you guys find such a cool groove? Like, you guys work so well together on this series.
Thank you. Yeah, no, Steven's update is something that's been absolutely amazing. It was an idea we had a while ago. It's probably, I think we just celebrated its 1 year anniversary, actually. I want to say like last month.
Yeah,
Yeah, it seems like something we've been doing for a lot longer, but it really still is kind of in its infancy, if you will. Yeah, it was basically a riff or a play off of the Weekend Update from SNL. Me and my brother, we like to think we're two wild and crazy guys,
That's me.
and that's for this side. But yeah, we just wanted to do something that was like different, unique than like a lot of like what you were seeing on the indies, and it just seems like a lot of people weren't really doing like shows or like promotion in like that sort of way where anybody was doing like a weekly show of sorts. And we had gotten to the point where we were pretty much like doing something every week or every weekend, and where it's like, hey, why don't we just like document this, or watch Cap TV and make comments about it, like in the style of Weekend Update. And as more and more time went on, and as we got busier and busier, we didn't have to look to like just Cap TV to like pull for matches. We were just like, we're doing 2 to 3 things this week. Why don't we just put that into the episode? Put our own spin on it and try to make it as entertaining for the fans watching as it is for us to do it.
Yeah, we just wanted to do something different than like the typical stand in front of a plain white wall, say we're going to be that weekend, say something mean about your opponents. We wanted something a little bit more creatively challenged, and we definitely found that. But it hasn't really been a challenge as of late. We actually have kind of found a groove, just showing up the day of, taking one look over here, one look over there. We're like, all right, we're going to do that, and then we're just going to edit it and then air it the following week, get it out there, and then on to the next show, and just like keep making content, and just that's the name of the game, is content. And it's so much fun to do.
Do you guys find that now more and more people are gravitating towards the series, that you're getting folks asked to be on it?
I don't think anybody. I actually don't think many people have really asked to be on it per se. But whenever where it's like, hey, do you mind like being on it, grabbing you, they get excited.
You can tell they want to be on it. It's just a matter of who's around.
Yeah.
We used to. It used to be tough to get a guest because we would just film at Creative Pro just on Thursdays. So whatever guest would come in, we'd be like, hey, like before you leave, can you just film this real quick? But now, like, we go to so many shows, and we have so many friends, so many friends that like us.
So many friends.
We're just like, hey,
it's the song. Everybody likes us,
Yeah. So it's been a lot easier to get guests, and pretty big names as of late, honestly. To like my surprise, at least. Like, this is not where I thought this was gonna go, but we've gotten names like Colt Cabana was on recently. I'm sure you watched that in your binge.
Mm-hmm. I did.
and whoever's just around, we just get the courage, and we make friends in the business, and they're like, sure, whatever, we'll be on your show, whatever. Like, sometimes people see it. Sometimes people see it.
Well, I think the culture too is like the vlog culture is such that everybody wants to share content and be on each other's vlogs, and whether it's just a straight behind the scenes, we're just hanging out, or something more structured like what you guys are doing, a lot of people see it. So why not? Why not spend a few minutes with your friends doing some cool stuff that people are going to see? And the content that you guys are making is evergreen. Like I went back and watched stuff from a few months ago. It's still funny. It's not all, even the stuff that's designed for a current match is still widely entertaining. So that's credit to you guys and your creativity.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, appreciate it.
Yeah, and you also get it out. You get the who, what, when, where, and why out in a different way, rather than just screaming it into the camera and saying what you're going to do. You actually just show everybody. You get people on there, and you mess with them. You mess with the promoter, John. I see. And
Oh yeah.
That was a lot of fun at his
smooth.
expense.
What's with the cardboard belts?
So those actually were a gift bestowed upon us.
Yes.
There's a he started off as a fan at BPW, and I think he kind of does some work there now. But it's Ryan Dust. We were actually filming something for Steven Update, ironically enough, like a while ago, and I think we were either in we didn't win the VPW titles or something like that. So
this was like years ago though. This was This was before Steven Update. This was when we were doing the Steven show.
Yes, this was a Steven show. That's right.
Which didn't really that was a different structure, different setup, longer.
That was much more ambitious, and we did not know what we were getting ourselves into with that.
We figured it out though. We figured it out with Steven Update. But yeah, we didn't win the Cap titles or the VPW titles, so we were bummed. But then Ryan Dust, I think he was probably 15 or 16.
Yeah.
Maybe 15.
Maybe.
And he just made these belts and just said best brother tag team champions. And every 6 months or so, he updates it, updates the look, updates the design, and we just brag about it as if we are the best brother tag team champions of the world. We use this to our advantage. Yeah.
It was really one of those things where it kind of just fell into our lap, and I don't think Ryan or either of us knew what would become of it, but we were just why don't we just start coming out to the BPW shows with these belts and just saying we're the best brothers champions? Who's gonna stop us?
Mm-hmm.
And we started doing that, and it's just one of those things where it just snowballed, and it's become its own thing now. And it's that probably that's pre-pandemic. That's 3 years ago we had those things made, and we're still coming out with them at BPW.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's amazing, because there's been some pretty big name brother teams, Brothers of Destruction, the Hardy Boys. But
we challenged Drake and Josh to a tag team match, but they didn't accept.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
They're afraid, and I understand it.
Oh yeah,
it is
we were
what
gonna
it
do
is.
at Nickelodeon Studios. We had the place, everything.
Yeah, it was gonna be this Saturday night.
So now you guys, at VPW, you guys team up with Pretty Boy Johnny Collins, pretty likable,
absolutely,
right? Yes,
absolutely.
sir. I know. I remember the first time talking to you. You guys got your butts kicked outside the ring, and I was leaving, and you were walking out. You were holding yourself, and you were like, "Man, that hurt." I'm like, "Yeah, I imagine so." You were just making a comment to me. You didn't know who I was, but you were just in pain because it was the end. It was the last match of the night,
I remember
really
event, but it sounds like I had a bruise something, maybe a bruised ego.
Something was off.
Hey, those things happen.
It happens. You get it.
I get it.
Occupational hazard,
Mm-hmm. So I did want to spend a minute and sort of go back in history a little bit, because for the folks who aren't as familiar with you guys, I see a lot of the Creative Pro, and you guys are a big part of that. Like, when did you both start at the same time, or did Steve, you Somerset, did you start first, or?
I started a little bit before Azure. I started in, I want to say September 2017, and then Azure. What were you, like, January?
I was January 2018.
January.
Okay.
So not far behind. Not far behind at all.
Yeah,
And
then we started teaming. I think our first actual match together was, I want to say, August of 2018. Was that the Shakru Fun Fair? July, August that year?
it was the summer. Yes.
Yeah, because I had made my professional wrestling debut in the King of Cat Battle Royal, and that was June of 2018.
Which I was also in, which is kind of like
that's where we kind of like saw each other.
We looked at each other and we were like, maybe. There's something. Your name's Steve, my name's Steve. Maybe. And
I was like, hey, that guy's wearing a shirt. I should probably do that.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that guy's wearing flame pants. I should not wear that.
So Somerset, you were only like a year and a half, 2 in the business before you did some of the WWE stuff.
Yeah, pretty early on. I mean, that's I don't really take credit for that. I mean, I was just right place, right time. Especially with Cap, we felt that, like, we were there for a while, doing our thing, putting in the work, and then with both Brian and Pat working there at the time, I think he was still Kurt Hawkins on TV doing his thing, and we got asked. I mean, a lot of people do extra work. We got asked. We did a Friday Night SmackDown. Azure was the big dog, and I was one of the people carrying Baron Corbin to the ring. And then, speaking of right place, right time, we got asked to do Monday that night. We weren't planning on doing Monday in Boston. And then it comes to, we're at Raw, we're standing by the ring, and they look for certain guys. So if you're too big, too muscular, too tall, even, like, they don't want you to be than the wrestlers, the superstars. And they need somebody from Mojo Rawley. I just fit the bill, height wise, look wise. They gave me a Boston Celtics shirt, and they're like, "You're Boston Bob, go out and get them."
Boston Bob.
I did.
As a native New Englander, Boston Bob was amazing.
I had the time of my life. That was a night I'll never forget, for sure.
Yeah, that was for both of us too. Like, SmackDown was really cool. Like, being the big dog for me, obviously, was amazing. Just getting to talk to, like, Baron Corbin and being, getting to do that spot or whatever. But then to go to the Monday Night Raw, 3 days later, this guy's having a 5-6 minute competitive match with Mojo Rawley, and I'm getting my lights knocked out by Becky Lynch. I can't even speak still because he rattled me.
Because of the jaw, yeah.
My jaw is still crooked. I wish he hit the other way. Play it twice.
Make it even, yeah, but Steven.
Make it even, Steven.
There you go. Yeah, but you were out there with Brock.
Yes, that he was.
I mean, what was that? What was that experience like, and how was that received afterwards? Were they happy with your participation?
For which one?
For the Brock stuff.
For the Brock stuff.
Incarnate. Yeah. MBD.
Who? So that was the I just got the Funko Pop of him, actually, but he's
Me too.
Ponytail Brock. Brock was like a really cool. I mean, every experience has been cool, but Brock.
We're showing off.
Brock was absolutely.
Oh, we're doing that. We're doing that.
Yeah, same setup all around.
Yep.
All around.
Very nice.
We're cool.
Cool. That was a Friday Night SmackDown. We were in Brooklyn that night, I believe. They needed security. Roman needed people to protect him because he knew that Brock was gonna try to get violent, which, I mean, he got that right. So I was hired to protect my tribal chief. I went out there, and when Roman Reigns hands you a paycheck and he says, make sure this guy doesn't get into the ring. If he's got a chair, if he's got a sledgehammer, whatever he's got, it's your job, it's your responsibility to get there and kind of be that barrier in between the two. And he did a flying jump kick off the announce desk to one of my friends. I think he's dead now. And he just started swinging a chair. R.I.P. And he just started swinging that chair wildly. And for anybody who thinks that like anything they see in wrestling is like fake or phony or doesn't hurt, when Brock frickin' Lesnar is swinging a goddamn chair at you, that hurts. He does not pull back. I think he actually goes harder just to prove a point. I think he goes harder because he thinks it's funny. But yeah, my arm, it ended up healing back real nice. I was out for about 3 years, and here we are.
Well, I'm glad you survived the experience because it didn't look like it on TV. It was questionable.
I don't think a lot of people survived that. I think one guy's dead, the other like left. There's this one guy, TG3, and we haven't seen him since.
Yeah, he's going back to school. He's out of the business. He can't
he's out of the business. Literally, Brock was like,
he's like, I can't.
He always wondered what Brock looked like backstage, and now he knows. Now he's done.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So here's what I take from this: that Cap Pro makes a lot of great wrestlers. They create a lot of great wrestlers, but their security's job. The security office is not up to par. Leo Sparrow's getting the Wardlow. It's just.
Yeah, it's we look as wrestlers, as independent wrestlers, we're trying to get involved in the business in any way we can. So whether that's being like a cameraman, being behind the scenes, we do video editing for Steven Update. We try to be a jack of all trades. So when WWE turns around and says, "Hey, we need security," or Roman Reigns says, "We need security," yeah, we're gonna take that box. We're gonna get the payday. We're gonna try to do our job. But every time I've been security, I got punched in the face by Becky, got hit with a steel chair from Brock. Leo Sparrow is half dead now because of Wardlow. Like I don't know. I feel like we should stick to just the wrestling.
I think Creative Pro. We have like promo nights. We have training sessions, advanced class. I think we do need like a security night.
That's
where
good.
We just get a bunch of black shirts around. We learn how to put them on right, and then we just stand around the ring, and then we just get somebody to come in, and we just like, all right, make sure that this person doesn't do what he's not supposed to do, and just see what happens and film it. And just we need those reps. We're just not getting those reps.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Well, maybe you should try.
It's create a pro, not create a security guard. That's where we're lacking.
Yeah. But maybe you guys can go into. Maybe you could go into the EMT for a medical facility job. Maybe find that next week. That'd be easier. The security isn't working out well for you guys.
It's not.
It's not.
No. Any hobbies or collecting that you guys do?
Aside from the Funkos, I think all four of us are big into. I'm actually really big into the YuGiOh trading card. I'm big into the YuGiOh trading card game. Actually, I play competitively, and I collect a bunch of cards and have fun with that.
Yeah, I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh with my son. He's grown and out of the house now, but we used to play all the time. I still have a couple tins of cards upstairs somewhere. But so with that, do you go to tournaments and it's officially competitive, right?
Yep, we have an official. It's the TCG. It's run by Konami. I'm actually going to Chicago in 3 weeks to play in the national tournament. For a shot to go at the World Championship. It's our first one in 3 years because of the pandemic. We already have 4,500 players that have qualified from the last 3 years, which is massive. And that weekend is an absolute blast. Like I unfortunately I will be missing the VPW show happening that weekend because of it. But I gotta do what I gotta do, man. Gotta go for that title, different title.
Oh no, I get that. So Somerset, with Azure away, are you going to have another partner, or what's going on with you?
Well, it's nothing set in stone, but I believe after what happened at the last VPW show, where not only did the Even Stevens unfortunately lose the VPW tag titles, even worse, some might say, Johnny Pretty Boy Collins lost his VPW World Championship. So it's not going to be an easy night. It's definitely not going to be a night of redemption while Steve's away, and I'm rooting for Steve in Chicago. But I hope that Pretty Boy is not too upset with us over that night, and maybe me and Johnny could do the little tag team action. Get back into the groove of things. Show everyone that we're still a unit, even with one missing.
You know, you should do, Steve. Actually, I got a grand idea, Jay. Because I don't think he's upset at us, but it could be a touchy subject.
It's just it's a lot right now.
What if BPW, one night only, I bestow my Best Brothers Tag Team title on Pretty Boy Johnny Collins, and for one night only, the Best Brother Tag Team Champions, Steve Somerset and Johnny Collins.
Wow, I mean that would be something. Actually,
that would be something. Yeah,
that would be that's there's your clicks and your boot. There's your Steven update right there.
There you go.
There's Steven.
You heard it. Breaking news.
There it is.
Breaking news.
That's a selfless act on your part, but are you at all concerned that there might be a permanent replacement there?
No, because the title is one night only. That's like the marketing we're going for. So it'd be weird to like say that and then retcon it and be like, oh, it's actually
Johnny is a brother to us.
Oh, absolutely,
we're actual brothers.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is we've seen instances where people have been given titles temporarily and not returned them.
Name one time that's happened. Name one time.
I don't know.
I got it. Name him interim best title.
Yeah. Well, that requires a tournament, though. Those all come with tournaments. We don't have that kind of time.
We don't have that kind of time, exactly.
No.
Interim. We
can like your idea better.
Johnny Collins, the interim Best Brothers Tag Team Champion.
I'll just send Johnny Collins right to the top, right?
That's where he belongs. That's where he belongs. That's where he's been. It took Jack like 8,000 tries to finally get one win over him.
Sorry, I called him.
And you called him what?
Jack Tomlinson.
You called him
Mike?
Jack Tomlinson is a thorn in everything. He's like a friggin' rose.
I thought he signed with WWE today. No, that was Logan Paul. Yeah, mixed stuff. I was like, oh, good riddance.
Good luck with that.
No, next time.
We don't need that.
Yeah, I was in the middle of the ask. I was in the middle of the saying, "Tell Johnny Collins that I'm sorry that one time I yelled and I called him a dime store Joe Pesci. I really apologize. I will apologize profusely to him in person."
He looks nothing like Joe Pesci.
Yeah, besides the height. And
I mean, yeah. I mean, could you see him playing the Penguin? No, you can't. That's ridiculous. Can you see him going and trying to get Kevin McAllister's stuff? No.
Although if we were rebooting
I can see him kicking.
It's not a
Jack
bad idea.
Like he's Bobby Batts, maybe.
Not a bad idea.
Jack Tomlinson is.
You got the De Niro look. So you get that De Niro.
I don't like him.
Someone said you're innocent. You be Henry Hill. You sit there.
I'm innocent. Don't shoot the I'm just the messenger.
Just the messenger. Just the Facebook messenger.
Nice.
Okay, so one of the other things I wanted to ask you guys about, and Azure specifically you, and you can see in my background, we're celebrating Pride Month this month. For me, as a parent of a gay man who has fortunately never been closeted, we're proud to say that, he's never had to live through that, at least in a home setting. Out in the world, it's different, obviously. But we celebrate this within my household and within our group. Our entire group celebrates. And, where we've had the opportunity to speak to Kayla Sparks and other people in the community. So what does this month mean to you? At looking at your socials, I can kind of get an idea, but what does this month mean to you? And how do you feel representation has changed over the last few years?
So for me specifically, I find myself to be in a very unique group or whatever. For me, this is my actual first time celebrating Pride Month after openly coming out last September. I would have considered myself a part of the community for 6 or 7 years. Always been an ally. But last September was when I publicly came forward. Is actually, I think, on coming out day, which I randomly like didn't even know about until like I was doing it. Like that just happened to like work out really well. But yeah, this month has been an absolutely amazing for me. Because I was publicly out, I did get like a lot of messages, DMs, a lot of people reaching out to me and just like talking and going back and forth with the community. And it's been nothing short of absolutely exceptional. Getting into wrestling and doing all the social media and Steven update, like we try to build this brand, and we try to like connect with people, and at the very least just try to make their day a little bit better, try to make them entertained, they come to a show or whatnot. But I didn't realize how much like coming out and being a member of not the wrestling community but also the LGBTQ community, how much that like really matters, and just being like not a prominent figure because we're still just on the indies. We're not like on like a huge scale or whatever, but a lot of people are still being reached out to by me specifically, or reaching out to me too. So it's very special to me that I feel I can talk to people about their issues or their concerns, or just chat and just talk to people where they don't always have like these outlets of people I can talk to, and they see somebody like me who's just very open at this point and going out and doing my thing. So it is very special to me to be able to talk to the community and really fully embrace it now without having to, feel closeted or, feel like I can't, or it's like a touchy subject or anything like that. I'm completely out there. I'm completely in the open. I have no shame or anything at all. I'm so happy and so honored to be a part of this community. I really am.
That makes me so happy because we hear so many stories of folks who don't have a positive coming out story, or they're not embraced by their loved ones. In fact, it seems to me to be more the norm that way than the other way. But from the folks that we know within the wrestling community, and we're sponsors of Mission Pro, Thunder Rosa's Mission Pro, they foster an environment there of inclusion. And I'm hearing from folks, other people in the industry, like Tommy Dreamer, and I think Sonya Deville was on Busted Open this week talking about how the locker rooms have changed so much in the last 10 or 15 years to be very inclusive and very supportive. And we're seeing people in the LGBTQ community and on all platforms and celebrated and supported by the fans. So that makes me super happy and positive for the future. So I hope you encounter the same thing as you go through your journey.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, like in terms of like the locker room, like people knew me before they, knew that aspect of me, and nobody like I haven't been treated or looked at any differently than I was before, other than, people are more willing to like talk to me about their own, concerns, or, if they're a member of the community, they have somebody they feel like they can talk to, an ally, if you will. But yeah, in terms of like a locker room, nobody has ever been like mean or like, bigoted or like anything like that. Like that doesn't really exist now. I'm sure it exists somewhere, but
yeah, I'm sure.
we don't associate with places like that. We would never. If I went to a locker room, if we were booked on a show or whatever, and I saw anything like that, I'd probably get into a fist fight with somebody and then not be able to come back anyway. So.
Well, I'm glad to hear it, man, and congratulations on being your true self.
Thank you.
Speaking about locker room, Steven, and how was it? How was it? Yeah, congratulations meeting Effie, and how was the conversation with him? Because he's amazing.
So,
He's that you look at the smell of Effie and Bussy and Nick Gage, but we just love Effie, man.
Yeah, that's one of the unfortunate things about being as busy as we are with like filming constantly. I unfortunately didn't get to talk to Effie at all.
I think he had like a late flight. He came late anyway.
Yeah.
So
He came late. I left early because I was doing airport runs for people. But yeah, we were really just doing our own thing. We were filming and getting ready to go out there and do our thing. So I did say hi to him, but unfortunately I didn't have time to actually like sit down and talk with him. But I mean, it was only my first time like being on the same show as him, so I'm sure at some point down the line we'll be on the same show again, and I'll be able to talk his ear off and be annoying.
Can I throw out a
Well, we
couple
know-
of names for you guys, and give me your reaction to them? What you think of them? How Max Caster.
Oh, we love Caster.
Love Caster. That's my boy.
Caster's great. Caster was like a big part. Like when we first started, he was there all the time, and sometimes we're lucky enough where recently we could be in the same car and take those long drives. And he's someone that's like really good to talk to, and he's somebody that like always has like gotten it, and has been overlooked for so long, and like knows the feeling of being overlooked and stuff. And now it's like so great to see him really start to shine, and like you can see like he's just gonna go up and up and up as Dynamite progresses, and
he
out there.
Like legitimately of all the people, I mean, I'm proud of like everybody that I train with and have shared a ring with, but I can honestly say I have everybody Max Caster. Every time I see him on TV, like I'm just so happy because I literally like when I started training, like it was Brian and Pat are the head trainers of Creator Pro, but I definitely did like hundreds of classes where Caster was running it, and I learned so much from him.
He'll tell you how it is.
Yeah, and to see the spot where he was at and to see where he is now, like nobody deserves it more. And there's literally no cooler feeling in the world than seeing like one of your good friends who's like been doing it for so long finally get like, have that hard work pull off. Yeah.
Scissor me, daddy ass. And of course, that's the tag team partner. They are a great tag team. How about MJF? How proud are you guys about this guy? Can he get any more popular in the world?
Where'd he go?
Yeah, I haven't seen him.
I mean,
he hasn't been. That's an interesting thing because we haven't seen hide nor hair of him since that episode of Dynamite. It's just been like radio silence. So
yeah, he did.
Real Rough Rider, yeah.
I have no idea what's going on with him. I mean, getting on a mic and telling your boss to piss off.
I have one more. I have one.
Go for it.
Yeah, what do we got?
Oh, say again, Mike.
I have alumni for you, Chris Lander.
Oh.
Forget about it.
Chris
She's
Statlander.
more than a woman.
Chris Statlander. How do we feel about her?
She's another one where I want to say literally like my first week of drills when I started at Creator Pro, I was definitely got the opportunity to share a ring with her. I'm pretty sure she's the one who taught me how to do like basic chain. Like my first hammerlock was definitely with her. I know because she told me to keep like loosening up because I was being way too aggressive because I was so nervous because I'm like, oh my god, like she was a name, she is a name, even at that point, 4 years ago, she was all over the place and was amazing.
Yeah.
So I was just like, anytime I got to get in a ring with, somebody like her, Brian Myers, or anybody, I was just like, oh my God, I do not belong here. These people are all way better and more talented than I am. But she has always been super, super cool, super awesome. And again, just like Caster, like nobody more deserving than her to be in a prominent featured spot on TV because that is where she belongs.
Yeah.
Amazing. And one last thing, just give me. You guys each give me a wrestler at Creator Pro for us to look forward to in the future that we're going to see on TV. Besides you two, I know we're going to see you guys.
All right. We get around.
I have my answer. I think I know who the next guy is.
Well, let me hear your answer
Okay.
first, and then I'll say mine.
Well, now I'm changing it. In all honesty, the next guy, I won't even say to break out because I think he already has.
He's going to be shook.
You already know. It is Shukru, but I am going to single out one member and say Bryce Donovan, the new Creator Pro heavyweight champion. He's another guy where, I mean, you watch the Steven updates or you watch anything we've done over the last 2 or 3 years, our highlight video shows more footage of Bryce Donovan than it does us, because that's how many times we've crossed paths with
It
him.
is a fact. We looked it up that like there's not been another team the Even Stevens have faced more than Shook Crew, and there's not been another team that Shook Crew has faced more than the Even Stevens. It goes both ways in this one.
Yep.
Evidently. We've
You guys
seen
kind
each
of
other
like
so
it's
many
kind of
times,
like the
and there's
Hardys
plenty
and the
more-
Dudleys, you know.
Yep, or Edge and Christian.
We're definitely Edge of Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get that one. Let's get that
Oh
straight.
yeah.
But yeah, and I guess since we're talking this, the person that I would pick, I guess I'll say Bobby Orlando.
There you go.
Because as a singles wrestler, Bob is quite unique, and like I'm sure there's like he might be a little too much for some people, but for some people he's like just enough. Like he's wacko, but like you're talking goatest of all time. Like he's so crazy, and he definitely gives off Cactus Jack vibes, where he puts his body on the line.
Oh yeah.
For Aaron, he's a legit psychopath. But I can see him really making it, and he's constantly evolving. And I think my first ever cap show was 1-on-1 against Bob, and you were in the audience for that.
That was my open house. I had graduated from community college like 4 hours earlier, and then I went to cap for an open house where I signed up, and the match that I saw was Steve Somerset against Bobby Orlando.
And that was the start of Even Stevens versus Shook Crew right there.
Literally, yeah.
Start of it.
Wow.
Everybody was in the building that night.
That's amazing.
For years.
That's amazing. So I have one more question for you guys, and we see that Pat Buck is now a big part of AEW. Do you guys think there'd be some opportunities there for you? And if so, who would you like to maybe, as a tag team, who would you like to face over there?
Oh.
I got my answer.
Well, there's a lot of answers. I mean, there's really like anybody.
Multiple answers, yes.
Multiple answers. Like instinctively, you want it to be FTR. Like they're probably the greatest. Yeah, right up there with the Young Bucks. Yeah. Relax. Yeah, Bucks of Youth. Yeah, whatever. They're definitely like one of my favorite tag teams, especially when I first started. I didn't know anything outside of WWE.
Yep.
And I think the first like thing I saw outside WWE was PWG, and Young Bucks were all over that. Bullet Club, like they were all over that. So that's where I've been a big fan of the Young Bucks since about 2015. But yeah, I mean, even the Acclaimed. Let me just say all the tag teams so Steve doesn't get to answer. Make sure Azure doesn't get to speak. But yeah, if we ever get an opportunity to do a dark elevation, a dynamite, a rampage, and anything like that, to be able to be the most important thing is to be a team, to be the Even Stevens in an AEW ring, in a WWE ring, in an Impact ring, just whatever it is, Ring of Honor, just to be together. That's the biggest thing, because we've done a lot of cool things apart, but to wear the sweater vests, to do the thing, tell them where we got them. That's what I can't wait to do.
Dream.
That's the dream right there. That's the dream. So yeah, so Steve, who do you want to face?
Let's see. No, for just going back to like the Pat Buck thing too, for a second, we name dropped him. Like again, like a guy who has just been beyond influential in the career of the Even Stevens. And just like, I mean, that's how we got a lot of the opportunities. Like we always, prided ourselves on making the most of, give us an inch and we'll take a mile, because we're just going to knock it out of the park no matter what you give us. But in order, you still kind of got to get your foot in the door. And Pat Buck was kind of the guy who was able to be like, hey, like you guys seem to be good enough to not completely embarrass yourselves. So here's a shot at being on, SmackDown or Raw TV, try not to make the school look bad. And then as we, prove ourselves, not completely incompetent, then it's like, okay, come back for more, we'll see what we can do. We have not worked for AEW yet, Dark Elevation or anything like that to this point. It's definitely on both of our lists, as mentioned before, with Impact Wrestling as well, where our other trainer, Brian Myers, currently is. But yeah, our whole thing is we just want to do it together. We want to be the even Stevens. You know, having the matches, having the segments, that's all cool, that's awesome. But to be the even Stevens and wrestle a match in front of people or do a segment, don't have us be together as security because I don't think that's gonna work. We've established that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we could be a tag team and then and any tag team there would be absolutely amazing. I selfishly would love to work the Acclaimed because again, Caster is a guy that I've been training with since my day one. Bowens and I have become close over the last year or so. Yeah, the Acclaimed is probably like my number one. Like, really want to make that happen at some point. But then again, we have all the other amazing tag teams. Like, who doesn't want to fight the Young Bucks? Like, come on, like, like. I'd say Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, but I don't know if I want to get in the ring with an angry Luchasaurus and Christian. That's
no, probably not. So selfishly, I would like to see an episode of Steven Update with Sting and Darby Allin leading up to the match. That would be amazing. I think you guys would have incredible chemistry in that type of environment. I think it would be amazing. And then of course in the ring would be great, of course.
Yeah, that one.
Absolutely. I mean, my one of my biggest goals right now in all of wrestling is to have.
I would Sting versus Stang.
Yeah, I want Stang and Sting to meet, or I'll even take the third even Steven, Steve Gordon, make that happen.
Whichever works. We'll put it.
It doesn't matter. Whichever one he wants, his choice. Ball's in his court.
Anything he wants to do.
Put it out there. Speak it into existence.
There you go.
Nice.
That's it.
Guys, I really appreciate you joining us today. It's been a lot of fun, and hopefully we can have you back on again. If there's anything you guys want us to promote, let us know. And why don't you guys put yourself over and let folks know where to find you and all of your content.
Don't mind if I yabba dabba do.
Do it up.
Steven Update, we release weekly. It's usually we try to stick to a Tuesday morning schedule, but every now and then, if we're not super busy, we get it on a Monday, but usually it's on Tuesday. And that is on our social medias as well as my YouTube. It gets a lot of views on Twitter, so check out the Twitter.
Mainly Twitter.
Mainly Twitter. Big fan on Twitter.
Do Instagram and stuff as well.
Our next really big show coming up after I obviously win the YuGiOh National Championship, July 24th. It is the Shook Crew Fun Fair number 2. We made our debut at the first one. This is number 2 now. I don't believe our match has been announced quite yet, but I would keep my eye on it if I were you.
I have a feeling that our challenge, once it's out in the ether, hopefully if it's accepted,
you do need to accept it.
Assalamu alaikum. That's it is what it is.
It's the same thing as Sting. You put it out there into ether, and then hey, it's up to you. Answer the call. See what happens.
That's what's up. And you can follow us. You can follow him on Twitter and Instagram at AzureIM. And you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Steve_Somerset. Mine's a lot more easier. What are you going to do? That's marketing.
Right? What are you going to do, Steve?
What are you going to do, Steve?
That's that, and there's nothing we can do about it. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you being on tonight. And folks, we're going to see you guys this weekend on our regular scheduled time, 7 p.m. on YouTube Live. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your day.